Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mark and today I'm here to introduce you to this chores chart project. You're going to love how easy this is to make. First of all, you can make it with just one sheet of material, so that's awesome. It costs very little to make. You can sell it and make a good profit, or you can just make it for yourself or for friends and family for gifts. It can hold up to 9 different tasks. You can even slide these out and replace them whenever you want to. You've got a little knob that moves left and right here, showing a red X or a green check mark, whether it's done or not. And you're gonna love how easy this is to use. Let me walk you through the file and show you how to put it together and give you a couple of tips and tricks along the way. Let's go check it out. All right, I'm gonna walk you through the file, but before we do that, let's do what we should always do. We're gonna start by looking at the text instructions here. Very simple, but very important. First of all, the black lines equal cut, the red lines equal score, and the green is engrave. Do not cut the red lines, you will be very sad. Make sure that you score the red lines, engrave the green, and cut the black. And also I've got a diagram up here, a little bit of more of a 3D exploded view here that shows you all the pieces to kind of help you figure out how these go together. And we'll walk through them here in just a moment below, but this goes from the bottom to the top up here. So you got this back piece that has the green check mark and the red X on them. Then this next one goes on top of it. The task rectangles slide in. You've got the left and right, what I'm going to call the green lantern symbol. That's what it kind of shaped like. That goes there. And then this top piece goes on top with the word chores. Make sure, and I'll mention this again in just a minute, when you put the middle piece on the back piece, put those little green lantern things in there first and then glue the top piece on. That way it traps it in there. And just like you'll see here, I dropped some of the tasks here. Just like you see here, they move back and forth and they freely move because they're trapped inside there, but they move like this. So make sure that you do not put this top piece on until after you've put those in there. If you glue the top piece on, you can't get them in there, so don't do it backwards, all right? So let's look at the file and we'll walk through all the pieces. So first of all, you got the 9 different tasks: set table, wash dishes, and so on. You can use the ones that I have here, or you can make your own just by simply deleting the text that's in there and type in your own. But let me give you one little tip here. Make sure, I'll use a square here to show you what I'm talking about. Make sure that you leave this much space on the left side of each one of the rectangles, because that leaves enough space here for this to stick out and for you to still be able to read the text. If you put it all the way to the left, the first letter might get cut off, and you won't also have the space that you need. So just make sure that you start at the same place where I started on each one of those if you make your own. All you have to do is ungroup those and then type in your own text. Then down here we've got the front piece, which is just what you think it is. It's the front piece that goes on top of everything right here. And you see the chores word that is scored on there. That is 0.01 inches smaller than the actual letters, and it's there to give you a guide for where to put the letters. That way, when you put the C on there, it covers that up perfectly and you don't see it, but it lets you know exactly where to put it to get it to lay out like this. So that's scored there to help with placement. So that's the top piece. Then the middle piece here, I'm going to call it a spacer. And that's the piece that you're going to see right here on the edge. That's the piece that has all the fingers there in the file that is open on the end, so you can slide these out. Okay. Make sure, hopefully you're using all the same material through all the pieces here, but make sure if you change materials that that spacer piece is at least as thick as these rectangles. For me, I used 1/8 inch all the way through all this, so it works just fine. But if you change material thicknesses, be sure. Otherwise, if that middle spacer isn't as thick as these pieces are, this will not slide. So just be careful. Use the same materials, you'll be in great shape. So that's the middle piece there. I'll come back to the little green lanterns in just a minute. And here's the back piece here. And what we did was we scored the check mark and the X's, and then we just went with colored pencils and we colored in the check mark and the red X's with colored pencils. Works great. You can do it with colored pens, paint markers if you want, but you need to have a pretty fine point on there to do that with. But we just use colored pencils and it works great. So what you want to do, starting from the back to the front, I'll show you. We're going to put the back one here. You're going to color your check marks and your X's. Then you're going to take this piece here and glue it right on top, perfectly on top of that one, just like that. And then what you're going to do, I'll zoom in here a little bit, with each one of these green lantern things, you know, they're going to have a score line there. And what that's for is so that you can glue one circle right here and then another circle right on top of it. That makes it long enough, the knob long enough to stick out so that you can move it easily like that, all right? So you glue two of them on top of that. And then after the glue is dried, you then want to take this guy here, you want to drop him right in this rectangle here, and do the same thing with the other 8, drop them right in there. And after you've done that, you then take the top piece right here, and you can glue it right on top here, and that traps that little green lantern guy in there so that it can move freely just like this back and forth, okay? And that's all there is to making this. It's incredibly easy, really fun. Again, customize these however you want. If you want to make seasonal tasks or whatever, do that. But you can switch them out anytime you want. It's a lot of fun for the kids and for you both. So let me know if you guys have any questions. But as always, I'd love to see what you make with these. And so drop me some reviews and some pictures on our group, whatever you want. But let me know if you have any questions. But until then, as always, make some awesome stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.